Hi everyone, we're broadcasting from the Smart Mobility Summit 2019. Several thousand industry professionals gathered here in Tel Aviv these days. And behind the scenes, as a part of the EcoMotion community, GoTo is interviewing selected smart mobility leaders. My name is Katya Rosenauer, and now with me is Orlie Dahan, Executive Director at EcoMotion, our beloved community. Hi, Orlie. Good to have you here. We're good. Thanks so much for having us and for organizing this community.
With love.
Amazing.
With love and pleasure.
Okay, before we get to that, love and pleasure, I want to play a little game with you. It's a game about life choices, your life choices. So
Okay.
I'll ask very fast and you
No
answer.
regrets, for sure.
We will see. So, bike or car?
Bike or car? Well, electric motorcycle like I ride.
I know the one.
Bikes hurt my knees, and cars, well, not for day to day, that's for sure.
Train or plane?
Train or plane? I use more planes. Well, Israel, it's kind of hard to get out of here with a train. Definitely when I'm in Europe, I try to train a lot, but to get out of here, we gotta...
Yeah, no trains yet out of Israel.
No.
Swimming or running?
You're bad. Neither.
It's okay.
Fast walking, is that okay?
That qualifies for running for me, actually.
Okay, so fast walking.
Car sharing or taxi?
Car sharing or taxi? If I gotta be frank, I'm still with taxis, and I love taxi apps. All of them I have. Everywhere I go, first thing I see is what is the local app, and then I use that.
For you, iPhone or Android?
iPhone for sure.
Everyone is like, for sure. Whatever choice they give, it's like, for sure.
Yeah. Everyone is very certain of themselves and their technology.
Yes. Amazon or AliExpress?
Ooh, don't get me into those.
Okay, we can skip. Elevator or stairs?
Well, to be frank, day-to-day elevator, we should be using more stairs, but tachlis.
Okay.
I'm all about the truth here, so...
That's good. We're here into authentic questions and answers.
Okay.
I have to tell you, you're the first person to answer so thoroughly and like thinking about what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, because you're saying questions that there's the right answer and there's the real answer, and I'm trying to be real.
I'm not sure there's a right answer.
Well, you know, people should move more for their health, more by stairs, more by walking, do more sports, go more biking. But in the end of the day, we all want to get to the next place. We're all in our phone, on our, thinking. Like we already are in the, if we're from A to B, we're already at the B, and we want to get there as fast as possible, right? So this is why there is the right choice. The right choice would be to enjoy from A to B, to walk, to look at trees, yeah?
In an autonomous shuttle and,
Did an autonomous shuttle, inshallah, yeah, I hope it will happen soon.
Well, it's a bit hard to practice what you preach for now, but I think part of your work is to enable the change and to make it easier for all the people to actually make those healthier choices, right?
Yeah, for sure. I do practice what I preach because I do ride on an electric scooter. It's regular socket, and I do live in the heart of Tel Aviv. I work close to my home, so I don't do any congestion in the morning for anyone. So I do go by smart mobility, and I just think that right now all the startups you see, so most of them are in seed and A round and they're ready for implementation, but most of them need more of that, and the world needs more of that. So we're still seeing a lot of cutting edge innovation, but all the implementation side is still, it's not lacking. There's a beginning, but it's more pilots and trials and things. So we need to see more of that in the street and not only in exhibitions.
Right. Orlie, let's talk about a little bit about the community and how it's being, developed recently. I saw you're traveling a lot abroad. You're bringing people here. You're bringing people from here to there. So what's new? What are you working towards these days?
So When I arrived to EcoMotion as a team member, I was the first female entrepreneur in the community, so I've been with it from the beginning. But when I arrived, EcoMotion was such an amazing community with great global potential. Well, it started already, but what I saw in my vision was how do we scale up globally and explode this? Because there's such amazing technologies, there's so much interest, but we need to shout it out in the world, and that's what I've been trying to do and traveling all over, trying to tell the global industry, you guys need to come here and to see this. And I always say, I can talk until tomorrow, but unless you come and get this whiff of innovation, no one will truly understand. So that's what I've been trying to do, get as many stages to speak the EcoMotion story, and every stage I try and push some startups in to pitch.
So what happens after you get off the stage in, say, Japan or in Berlin or in like other countries? Well, talk about that as well. So like you pitch EcoMotion, you pitch Israel as the place for innovation in mobility, and then you get off the stage, and then what happens? Who comes to you?
Well, it depends if this is a country that's proper or not. But
Meaning?
Japan, actually, it doubled the amount of Japanese people that attended the main event last year. So this is for sure something that was a great success. If the year before that there were 45 people from Japan, and then in the last EcoMotion main event there were 106. So for sure I can see that traveling there and speaking about the community helped bring more Japanese.
So that's kind of an exponential growth, no?
Yeah,
The
there you go.
hockey stick.
From Berlin, I found two really cool startups that we gave them a stage at the EcoMotion main event, and then helped them also, succeed globally. This is one of the things as well. If we're saying EcoMotion is a global community, and if we're saying that Israel is a center for global mobility and is at the front of the technology. So I want to enable also a stage for global innovation to come here. What's becoming interesting is that you see here people from Germany, meaning Germans, and Americans, meaning Americans, here in Tel Aviv, and that's the magic.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your vision for the global community? So I understand that you see people coming here, like you want people to come here for the innovation, but like what else? What are the attributes of the global community, and how is it going to be like better for us, the members of the community, once it's really, really global?
Well, there's a few things. So we're working on different aspects. On one hand, to create more opportunities for startups globally, we want to start doing an ambassadors program where we will have EcoMotion ambassadors all over the world, and then kind of like a mushroom network. If a startup is now flying to Berlin or to Japan, we will have that EcoMotion ambassador on ground to make more opportunities for them, to create meetings for them, or even have a space, to have meetings if.
Oh,
to
that's
sit down.
amazing to have an insider in whatever country you're
Yeah,
flying
and then
to.
we can also send out information and receive information from the world. So have kind of a decentralized global love and good energies.
Wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have like who qualify as ambassadors for this program? Like who could that be?
Well, the qualified ambassadors would be the type of organizations that don't take any money from startups. They can take money from either government or industry to survive. I mean, it can be an NGO or for-profit or anything, but someone who it would be good for them to help startups, because no one does anything when it's not good for them. So it would be good for them on one hand, but on the other hand, the startups wouldn't be what they're aiming at to make money or business off of. So it would be kind of like either government-owned organizations, or let's say there's one. There's a few kind of communities that are more industry focused, so it's good for them to bring startups to pitch for them, but they're looking more as their members is industry. So
like not a commercial type of partnership.
Well, with EcoMotion, no. Well, we're nonprofit. Nothing is really commercial. But with EcoMotion, they will have kind of like we're writing right now ambassador's oath. So kind of what they promise to do and to stay in good faith. it's really hard because, EcoMotion is a small team of ninjas, and we control everything we say, which is very important sometimes. Well, I don't always control what I say, but we know what we're doing. We're very close to the startup, so we know what they need. And once you give someone kind of an EcoMotion ambassador's hat and they start speaking for you or on behalf of you, it's frightening, right? So I want to create kind of this oath like they do for doctors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But you guys also have to say that, right?
Yeah, well, we are that oath. We are always here to give with love and to create as much opportunities as we can, and to bring the community
give
together.
With love.
Yeah.
Create opportunities. Okay.
Yeah.
You need 8 more.
8 more what?
8 more lines for
Ah,
the
okay.
oath.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that was a good beginning.
Yeah, it is. The Swiss call me the ninja of love because I call the team my ninjas. So
Ninja
they're
of
all
love, wow.
ninjas. And I told them that our business model is to give with love, so they all laughed. It's funny to most people in the world.
Yeah, sounds really good. Orlie, last time we spoke, you were about to launch a program for municipalities and government officials who were dealing with mobility industry to help them adjust and look at what's going on. So can you talk a little bit about how that went and where it is right now?
Yeah, so EcoMotion is a joint venture of the Israeli government. So we have, from the Israeli government, we have the Fuel Choices Smart Mobility Initiative, which is hosting this event, and the Ministry of Economy. And on the other hand, we have an NGO called the Israel Innovation Institute, and the NGO was built in order to have innovation serve society. So to see how we use technology and implement it in society so it's good for humanity, for all of us. And with EcoMotion, what we did throughout the years is, one, create an ecosystem. No one was speaking smart mobility in 2012. We're like 7 startups, yeah? There's 70 here today. And the EcoMotion main event, there's 150 next year. So it's growing exponentially. And the success is growing globally. And now in the past year, the government said, okay, that's great, the government and the NGO, they said, that's great, but now we want to see how you take that technology and start slam dunking it to the streets and start implementing that. So what we did was we finished now the second batch of a course called Smart Transportation Now, where we create kind of smart mobility innovation ambassadors in municipalities. And we took this buzzword smart mobility and divided it into 6 different days. So it's a 6-month program. Once a month, they meet for a full day. They get out of the office, and we get them to talk about the challenges and the solutions that are technological most times for that. And then how to lead a project also in their municipality, which is the last course. So now what we want to do is we're starting to work with each one of these to go into their municipality and do what we call a challenges workshop. So basically we bring together between 40 to 50 people from the municipality from all different domains, from education, from the fleet, from the people that have the trucks to clean the streets, from IT, okay, from all different departments, into a room for 4 hours where I call it, we go into their kishke, so it's like their intestines, yeah? We go into their intestines, get all the challenges out, we put everything on the board, and then we choose the top 10 challenges that are agreed by the room, and then the top 3 of those will be shown to the mayor and the CEO of the city.
These are challenges, not solutions yet, right?
Right. That's the first part, to define the challenges. And then once we have the top 3 solutions or 3 challenges that the mayor will choose and say, okay, this is what I want to tackle, then we're like, okay, now we open the EcoMotion community startups and bring all those solutions to the table, and then start kind of a process with them of understanding all the solutions, understanding what each one brings, and then they make the choice by themselves. But we created this process that not only engaged our ambassador that we created in the course, engaged the whole municipality employees, engaged the mayor, and got everyone on the same page as what do we want to tackle, what do we want to solve.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting because not from my experience, not always it's obvious that for a specific challenge, there is a technological solution already, out there that you can just take.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds really great. What's the feedback so far from the people who attended the program?
It's amazing feedback. What I loved is that they kept saying that they got practical tools to take with them. And I think that says it all, because if they feel like they have now kind of a toolbox of innovation or things to think about or things to take home with them or back into the office with them, so that was worth everything. And we also see that by themselves, they started creating these connections already. They talked to the startups, they talked to the lecturers after.
So it's like you put them in a new mindset,
Yeah.
I guess. Wow. You know what amazes me and like what I really admire about the EcoMotion community and this whole ecosystem here in Israel is that how it was a conscious initiative from the get-go, how it was like there was a decision, we're going to build the ecosystem and this is how we will do it and this is how it's being, done now and this is what really, really exciting.
Yeah. Someone told me yesterday, wow, it looked like really professional, the exhibition. And I told them, yeah, we're not a bunch of geeks anymore, And it was that in the beginning. In the beginning, no one speaks smart mobility, and it was like all these different geeks coming together, programming with kinetic sand and all these different things. Opening a laptop, connecting it to something. And now it's becoming like actual technologies to be implemented in either vehicles, in cities, in traffic light, in whatever. So it's amazing.
Really amazing. Now, to the most interesting part for me, the EcoMotion Week 2020.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop.
Yes, you have already started to prepare for that.
Yeah.
So tell us what to expect, what to look forward to, what to be prepared for.
So EcoMotion Week 2020, it's going to be 18 to 21st of May. Where on the 19th of May is going to be the main event itself. And then what we did from growing it from a main event to a whole week was to enable a lot of different partnerships and to have, also global pairs do kind of side events and everything. Took investors to the sky last time, right? With a hot air balloon.
I to B, where B is the sky.
There you go. So create a lot of different side events. Automotive News is actually going to do one. And we have actually a very exciting person in the automotive field, like a very well-known human being.
That must be Elon Musk.
Well, Elon Musk is kind of known in all fields, I feel. It's not just automotive. No, he's very automotive.
Okay.
But we're going to do a huge launch. What we're doing right now is gathering in secret all the speakers and the partners and everything. We're going to open applications for startups soon. So if you're an Israeli startup in mobility, for sure apply. If you're an international startup for mobility, we're going to have 10 spots also for international startups. So that's super cool. And so we're doing a huge launch January 1st, 2020. Registration will be open. First partners will be out there. And our surprise keynote speaker and many other things.
I'm very intrigued.
Yes.
Tell me, Orlie, the last EcoMotion Week was Towards the Tipping Point, was called. What's the name of this one? Can you share?
That's a good question. You want to talk about it a little bit? Because I'm brainstorming right now.
I'd be happy to brainstorm. No, we can do it now.
Yeah, let's do that now. So, EcoMotion 2020. Some say only that is strong enough. So for me, 2020 is like this year that was written in so many white papers. It was like the year, right? So you have all these programs, 2020, this, 2020. It was either 2020 or 2050. That was the 2 years that I kept seeing in all the white papers. So on one hand, I'm saying, you know what? Maybe we should do like a news reality check where we are and where we thought we will be in 2020. But that's not like, we're very like in positive and looking at the bright side of life more than what we did wrong I prefer to say, you know, what we managed to do already.
No, I guess that would basically just shift the focus from, you know, where are we going towards, and, oh,
What we
we
did.
picked the wrong date, you know, it should have been 2030. Yeah, let's like talk about that, how we were bad at guesstimation, right?
Which is like everything in economy, right? It's always a bad estimation.
Yeah, so, but can you share some secrets with me? Like, okay, keynote speaker, you're not naming yet, but like the topics that are you think that
We're
you think
gonna
are the
see a
most
lot
important.
well, we're gonna see a lot of different topics that should get more and more attention. For sure, micromobility, which is becoming this, on one hand, amazing thing, on the other hand, major issue, and how do we balance that in our life? For sure, flying cars. Which we had already a flying car in the last exhibition, but I want to see it on the main stage, have it discussed with also global players. Like, is that really going to happen? It
So
is
that it's,
probably, but
I
when
mean-
and how?
I mean, by putting it on the main stage, you're already, I guess, claiming that it is gonna happen. No?
Well, yeah. If we've been talking door to door, you know, for the past years, now we're going to talk roof to roof. And a lot of the global industry is talking about, you know, how autonomous level 4 and 5 is being pushed back. But what's interesting about the Israeli technologies actually is that most of the technologies are relevant for already level 3. So that's 2025. And we want to talk about what will we see now, okay, and what is important for implementation now, and maybe discuss more about the business models, because right now I think we all can have a good lessons about that.
There is
What
enough
is the
data.
right business model to succeed in this world, right? It's like changing what is happening with the automotive industry, like how do we work in that? There's still a lot of questions. I always think that, you know, oh, it's easy, people will realize, but no, it takes time to understand, and roles are going to shift, right? So also there, how will it work?
So this is a very interesting process, you know. Like, yeah, let's do like the innovation, more innovation, and then like implementation, and then oh, is there money in it?
Yeah, what's the business model? Where's the money?
Well, that sounds very exciting. Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Orlie, for the work you've been doing. And
You're welcome. It's not just
Happy.
me. It's Neta, the community manager. It's all the implementation manager. We have a new ninja called Noga, which is project manager. So we're gonna see a lot more, and we're working on some really exciting stuff. So stay tuned.
On our side, it's been a pleasure to be the part of the community, and we're getting so much support from you guys, and really, really appreciate your help and everything.
I'm happy that's the vibe.
Thank you.
Thank you.